It's the Sergio Show! Hey, this is Sergio Dominguez with an audio commentary for Season 9. Yes, we are down to the home stretch when it comes to doing, this task I'm doing, which is make 50 episodes within 2012 and 2013. So Season 9, this is probably, I was working on this back in late 2012. I remember even within the last days of the year, I was working on a couple certain episodes from this season. Yeah, let me see. Yep. Yeah, this was a season where I worked on the last couple of days of 2012. And I worked Season 10 in the beginning of 2013. So, but we'll get to Season 10 soon. But look, Season 9. Season 9, fun season. I'm looking over the list. Yep, the edited episodes were edited. Yeah, review episodes were edited. But there's been also some great episodes. Let's see, what episode? Episode 84. Can't wait to talk about that. Episode 88. That's also a unique episode. So I'm looking forward to doing commentary on some of these episodes. But we have this. This is a review. This used to be a review episode about, what was it? Oh yeah, these videos from a sketch channel. That's actually a live action series sketch channel, but there was a moment where they uploaded some animated cartoons based on their lives a little bit. That's the only hint I'm going to give you with that. I reviewed that. There were some jokes, but yeah, that barely mattered. You just saw a black flicker. That was an editing thing. That was a mistake. I try to check if there's any black screens coming up, but that happens. You look over editing, you hope there's no sudden black screen flicker. But for anyone who edits, they understand this problem or this kind of issue while editing, So I replaced this original episode with me talking about the importance about learning animation. Yeah, actually, that needs to be a real story written episode. I thought about that as a way for the character Sergio to deal with it. But for now, it's just a talking episode, to fill in for Season 9. But I'm just looking forward to 84 and 88. But let me see how this season's going. Excuse me. 81, talk about the importance of animation. Second, I go through some places to find something. That's actually a nice episode. Pretty simple, comical episode, but I remember this was pretty fun. 83, I'll talk about microphones and animation. That one's But 84, I'm looking forward to that one. That's a big one. Alright, 85, yep. The Perfect Pencil Story. Yeah, that was a made-up one that I had to improvise and replace. 86, Time Travel. Ooh, to the 90s. Oh, looking forward to that one. Review episode replaced it with Sergio Show Serial. The Sergio Show Serial. Alright, that's the end of this episode, but let's see. 88, this fantasy episode. 89, about cartoon pain, and the season finale replacement episode. But, alright. Let's get on to the next episode. Sergio Studios. Hide your Alright, episode 82. Now, I had this really fun idea. And I'm trying to remember where it came from, but yeah, what if the Sergio character wants to show the audience something, but he has to go through these places and comes this long, painful, just endless montage and just sequence of him going through so many places. Security, which is a joke on movies and TV shows where there's a hidden security somewhere. Like when cartoons are on the way, they go through a secret facility and passageways. That's been used in classic cartoons, comedy, spies. I want the character to go through that in this episode, only for something very anticlimactic, but I want something completely surprising and out of the ordinary, yet kind of practical to happen, and it will happen, I think, maybe later in the episode. I'm not sure. This is edited, so maybe I cut it out. But once he does have this thing, it's in an envelope, and these two characters that are parodies of evil villains from a couple action expensive films, they want the mystery thing, and once they show once I show the mystery thing, it turns out it's no big deal. Oh, I love that result. I like this. This had a lot of settings. Yeah, this had a lot of location. I had to draw them all pretty quick, so, and they're all like static drawings. There's barely any animation in them. The swooshing and the speed. Actually, because I still need to personally want to make these episodes 10 minutes long. You're actually seeing it's better, but it was originally a lot slower. And yeah, I think some of them got cut. Yeah, this was much longer.
Yes,
I was really going for filler padding originally in the episode, but having it sped up works. You still get the point across, and it won't be so gosh darn like when. It was originally my intent to be like, okay, when is he gonna get to the destination? But all those backgrounds were drawn in a photo editing software, and even the characters were too.
My secret project
That
right here. Oh my god! All right, here it goes.
Yep, they're cut out of the episode. So I'm glad I told you about this. Yeah, the zoom in is like choppy for some reason. I hope I don't get in trouble, but that's a fan art. Yeah, fan art of me with a different character. You probably know what it is. I think I even say it. But it's all over fan art. I like that still image. Good still image.
I just want to show it to the audience.
All for no big deal. The episode would have been funnier if if I kept the cut of the two villains. They're parodies of something, but my paranoia won't.
I hoped you liked it, and if you didn't, I'm
just
sorry
to be
as
sure.
always.
If I have to edit one more time because of the fan art thing, I don't know what to do anymore. Well, just keep editing it. But honestly, fun episode. And remember, I was making this quick. That's why everything was like static. The backgrounds that the character went through. But point across, he went through some tubes, went under the sea. Under the water of the sea or something like that. So, simple episode, but I like it. I like how it came out originally and how it came out now. Not bad. Fun episode. Genuinely fun episode. Over like one joke. One or two jokes. Good. Good.
Sergio Studios.
Alright, 83. Yep, a compromised episode. It was me reviewing a season of animated internet series that was popular at the time. This was 2012. I enjoyed watching that series and wanted to review it myself. A lot of good jokes actually came from that episode, but you couldn't use them, couldn't find a way to use them for this. Yeah, obviously from scratch, just save the animation. And I talk about, what was it, cartoon microphones and animation. Since voice acting was brought up, might as well bring up microphones. After all, you're listening from a microphone. Oh, the sound of my voice to your ears, from the speakers, headphones, to this microphone. Yay! I think that's a reused drawing of a microphone. Yeah, to save time, I already had some. These were props. Already redrawn. I think that was maybe for a song parody, so that's why. But I think I drew a couple more, but I think there was also some redrawn.
Doing a good job with the quality of the audio.
Excuse me.
But still, there was a time,
Yep.
like animation,
That's based on a microphone that I have now.
the microphones did sound a little bit off.
Yep.
But thanks to technology, microphones can sound beautiful and rich like you're hearing.
Listening to me ramble.
In the animation world, there's also a thing called cartoon microphones.
Of course, if inanimate objects can become cartoons, why not as inanimate as a microphone? Yo, creative logic, you win again.
But I just use a regular cartoon microphone where it's a microphone with cartoon outlines. Now, before I quickly end this quick episode,
Yes, this episode's quick. I think the fastest episode that got re-edited was the new episode, the episode from 2010. That was the not season premiere, but episode 12. Episode 12 could be the fastest out of the censored, edited 100, because it was like it had to be short. Yeah, hold on. Yep. This was, I did actually still have an old computer microphone that actually sounded like what you're listening to. It's horrible. So I guess I did find some way to make some time out of it by listening to, So ultimately, I did have one old computer microphone recorded off of that. I don't know how, but I did, and yeah, nice little comparison example. So a couple things came out of this episode, but it was a serviceable episode for this purpose. All right, we're gonna move on to one of my favorite episodes, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Sergio Studios. Let's go get
Oh
some
boy!
snacks at the vending machine because it's
Episode
the
84.
Sergio
I love this
Show.
episode so much.
And here's
It's
your
become one of
host,
my
Sergio
favorites.
Dominguez.
Very nice episode. When did this all begin? That's the question. I think it was drawn in my sketchbook, and I thought
Hi,
of
folks.
what things can
Welcome
be
to my show.
cartoons. And I
I'm
thought of
Sergio
what is a
Dominguez
vending
something,
machine,
something,
and what if he's evil?
Yeah,
So I originally drew him on a
it's a long
sketchbook,
story.
and I scanned it into the
And
software
here
and
it is,
redrew it and
enjoy.
re-rigged it. And yeah, it
Okay,
ended
the
up
filming
becoming an
of this
episode of the
episode is
show.
gonna
I
start
wrote
in
it real
about,
quick,
like,
but
10
it
minutes
was
or
just,
so.
it gave me a lot
That'll
of
give me
creativity
just
and
enough
a lot of
time
great
to
jokes.
get a snack from this new
If you
vending
remember how I
machine that I
had a great
bought.
time making this episode, I think I made this in August of
Feeling
2012
like
or so.
something to eat,
And man, when it
like,
came out,
ooh,
it
sour
was
cream and onion potato
delightful.
chips.
Everybody loved it. Unfortunately, this was edited. I think I had to cut out some music and
chips.
stuff. But I think the
My
episode's still the
chips.
same and it
Come
can
on,
still be
give me
enjoyed,
my
even edited.
chips.
But
Come
I remember
on, you better give me my
this was
chips.
one of the few episodes where I actually
Give me
showed it to a
my
group of
chips,
people
you
before it was
stupid
uploaded. When I finished this
vending
episode,
machine.
I was in college and I had this episode done, and I was so proud and happy of this episode that before it was scheduled to upload, I decided to show it to a couple of friends in college, and I had a class where I thought it was a perfect place to show this. So I showed this video. It was about 7-8 minutes or so, and when it was done, everybody loved it. Everybody had a great reaction to it.
That was close.
Everybody enjoyed it, and when it was uploaded online, I think it was late 2012, no, early 2013, probably. Everybody loved it, and its original release and run, it was such a beloved episode, and it was nothing but great comments, great reaction. Yeah, this is one of the episodes I'm legit proud of. I have this sense of like happiness making it, writing it, and when it was made, it was great, and when it came out, before it was, when it was like shown exclusively, it was great received, and it became a well-known part of the series.
I have an audience. I'm talking
You know,
from
I like the
my
evil vending
audience.
machine. I love
Yeah.
what a
It's a
comedic
weird
concept.
little
Almost has little to do
misadventure
with
right
the
now.
show.
Anyway.
It's an
Oh,
animation
the
satire
certificate
show, but
purchase.
it has the Sergio character.
Here
At
it
least
is.
that's what it counts, and I got to make great jokes out of
Thank you
this.
for purchasing
Not only there were
your
great
vending
written jokes,
machine
but there were
from
even great
Bendy's
jokes
Vending Machine
during
Factory,
animation and
located
post-production.
at the edge of
That's
Teen
how good it is
City,
when you can
where
find a
it
way
was
to
built
add
over a
jokes,
cemetery.
more jokes,
40
even when the
people
episode is
have
finished,
died
written, and
from an
recorded. You can
accident
find a
there.
couple more.
The metal from
There
the
was this
vending
one good
machines
joke
came from scraps of
where
metal
he
from
takes out
old
2
World War
guns,
II
and
weapons,
then
the
I decided
factory
while
was
animating,
invaded by
there should be a
aliens
3rd gun. Where?
like a
It comes out of his
day
mouth, and
ago.
I'll go, "Bleh."
And then they
That was
left.
good.
Huh.
And there was even
So
one good
that's why
joke that
my
was just
vending machine
editing,
only cost
where
$100.
the camera pans
And the
up,
origin
very
story
dramatic
does sound
music,
pretty
and
subtle.
then I just cut out the music and when he starts eating a potato chip. So,
So how
yeah,
logical can it be?
It was a great episode. Very good. Oh, that's a good sequence. It's like a horror movie, a comical horror movie, because he's hiding from that. It's very well done. This is like one of those episodes where I'm really happy about.
Stop.
Yep.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm really,
I think for this
sorry
one,
that I mistreated you. Like
I
you were
did
just
have
a
the original
machine.
files
You're more than
of
just a
it, and I had
machine.
to
You're a miracle
change it
of
within the
delivering snack
production.
foods to all the boys
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
girls
did
of
that.
the world. So
because it
what do you
was
say?
I had to some of these
friend?
shots. That's why some of the picture quality is a little bit crisp. Oh, I love this joke. Such a classic cartoon thing. Everybody laughed. It was hilarious. Oh, it's always a fun thing when cartoon me gets hurt. Cartoon me gets hurt. That was a good one. That was a good one. And followed up with another good joke. This one was good. This one. Oh man. Oh, yep. The
Hey,
three
EVM.
gun thing. The third
Then
one was
this.
added into an animation.
Have some chips.
And I love that he just says any
I'm
other
gonna fill
catch
you up with quarters.
phrase, action catchphrase. Now what you're saying
Snack
is
attack.
2 guns, but originally
You
they were
just
images
vented
of
your
real
last
guns,
snack.
golden guns. But
Insert
I'm like
cheesy
later on,
action
I'm like
phrase
no,
here.
no. During the edited version, I
I'm
went
gonna shoot
back,
you now.
replaced them
Into
with
pieces.
quick drawings of golden guns that I've
Yeah.
made. Because yeah, that had to be redone.
Okay, I think it's over now. It's okay.
Wow,
He's
this
dead.
episode was amazing.
Oh, and if you're wondering why I didn't do this in the first place instead of going through all that, well, he's a vending machine
Very
that
well done
cost
episode.
like $100.
Very well done.
I wanted to first turn it off or slow it down or send it to a repair shop, then I would save a couple of bucks. But
Very amazed and
no,
proud of it.
got too evil to the point where I had to shoot it to pieces. Great. Well, at least I still have the receipt.
Yep.
Oh, that was
Well done.
worth
Very
getting
well done.
those sour cream and onion potato chips. Yeah.
I like the
Hey,
character, even though
announcer,
he
how
is
much
just
time
supposed to be
do we
pure
have
evil
left
and
until we start
machinery, just for
filming?
the joke of it.
5 seconds left.
So yeah, he dies, but I want him to come back.
Right.
I knew I want to
So,
make him come back a couple
that's
more
what
times,
happened, and apparently
he did.
due to all of that,
he
I
did.
have to
We'll
end
talk
this
more about that
episode now.
later.
Well,
But I had
that's all
fun
for
with the
this
character, I had
episode
fun with the
of
episodes.
Sergio
It took me a
Show.
while, but he would
I'm
come back.
Sergio Dominguez,
Fantastic
saying, have
episode.
an animated
Yeah.
day.
I had fun making it. It was great just looking back on this, and when it was coming out, it was going to be a special episode, and everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. Let me know your thoughts down below about this episode, but it was a fantastic episode. Very proud of it. Yeah, one of the best. Creative, inspirational. So good. So good. So great.
Sergio Studios.
It's the
All right, episode 85.
and here's your
Yeah, this was originally a clip review episode of animated internet series that was once popular, and I replaced it with a improv story of the perfect pencil. And hearing it out loud just makes me want to talk more about episode 84 again. Yay!
Yes, as a
So,
cartoonist, I
yeah, let's talk about that.
use a
But
pencil to make my cartoons. Yeah, I use a pen, but in this case, pencils.
this one, yeah,
Before I get the ink,
perfect pencil story. It could be because at the time, not at the time, but when I was in high school, I had collection of pencils. I always bring pencils to school, and pencils, of course. But man, when you go to a high school, in a high school where no one cares, you'll be amazed how many people won't bring a gosh darn pencil. You'll be amazed. Just bring, if you're one of those people that can, pencils are so gosh darn affordable, and especially in packs. But man, you are the king of the mountain if you bring like a huge pack of pencils. You got like students in the palm of your hand, especially the ones that don't have a pencil, which is like 90% of them per class. Jeez, if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. Yeah, because that's what I think of when it comes to pencils. But also, yeah, I always have a habit of sharpening pencils because I want to work with a nice sharp point. Later on, I would use mechanical pencils, but
As I said before, I do love sharpening pencils. To the point where once I bought a big packet of pencils, and with
Excuse
my
me, that was
sharpening collection, I would sharpen all of them until
oh, that was a nice simple thing I did. Yeah, just copy a pencil, make it almost like a collage.
pencils that I actually had this weird bump that actually had liquid brown pus.
Ah, that was for real. That was for real. That happened to me once. That happened to me once, where I was sharpening like this huge pack of pencils with a couple of cheap plastic pencil sharpeners by hand, and yeah, like the middle part of my middle finger just looked like had like light brown pus. It was gross. It was like out of nowhere. It was disgusting. Like it looks gross as a drawing, but man, real life, of course, even nastier, like this sore boil, but easily popped. Yeah, I think it was like a corn on my foot. My not f- well, it was like a foot corn, but on my finger.
That's what happened. A really ugly blister to the point where it actually popped, or I popped it, and oh, it was like just watery brown pus that just came from sharpening pencils. Could have been from the graphite or something, but it was so weird and unpleasant. And that's how I switched to mechanical pencils. And I just want to let you know about it. Well, with that in mind, I'm just going to go ahead and end this episode already. Well, thanks for watching and listening to this episode of The Sergio Show.
It's very little to say, but I do love pencils, color pencils, number 2 pencils, mechanical pencils. Yeah, but you know, who doesn't? Let me know in the comments below if you like pencils. And like that, the episode ended. Serviceable, had to be done. But you know, as a cartoonist, you like pencils. You know, pens are fun, especially thin tip pencils. Yeah, the fine point pencils.
Sergio Studios. It's the Sergio Show, and here's your host,
All right.
Sergio
86, I travel back in time to the 90s. Now, in the previous time travel episode, I go back to the 80s, and the joke was how a 90s kid or a 90s animation inspired fan doesn't like that much cartoons of the 80s because of how much of a product of their time it is and how awkward it is. I go back to some cartoons in the 90s, my favorite era, one of my favorite eras in animation, and just see how much of a product of time that is, and realize, hey, what I loved in the 90s isn't all that hot biscuits, all that hot stuff, you know? But it's a joke. It's a joke, and I tried not to be too mean-spirited about it. I was just trying to be like, no, of course the 80s cartoons are stinkies, but then these cartoons are gold. And this is me doing a weird, I don't know where accent. I sometimes do, but it's based on nothing. I think it's based on nothing. It's just a funny voice. And I'm going to go
back to the animation of the 1990s and experience it again. You're probably asking right now,
like,
why didn't I just start?
Because I know the 80s one for sure. There were too many like pop culture references and
1910s, 20s,
cartoons
so
that I
on and so
really
forth.
could not bring
Well,
up.
it's because I wanted to do this in order.
Even the 90s one, and I did still keep try to use that technique of putting myself in a cartoon. It would either be me edited in, me over a static photo, me trying to reanimate it, yeah, reanimate some things. You know, it was also a way for me to just try that. And yeah, look at it, edit it out, and that apostrophe in the wrong place. I thought I got that together. Gosh darn it. I love the pose. Yeah. I think that's the most worth it part of this episode. That pose, because I think he just got out of there just in time, and he flew out of the time machine, and I like the pose. Good pose, comical pose, simple pose, but it worked. I think that was the best part of that episode, the pose and the ending, and of course seeing that rogue apostrophe just going near the end. Yep, that was that episode. You know, it was much funnier back in its original form. I remember I had some good comments on that because people knew that I was very passionate about the animation of that era. So, yeah, like a lot of us are. It was the episode.
Sergio Studios.
It's the
All right,
Sergio
clip
Show.
review episode, and it's supposed to be a review of one animated internet cartoon of somebody who's actually a fan of my work, and I've been a fan of his work for a while, of his own creation. I remember when I was promoting it or letting people know about this episode coming up, that he was looking forward to it. I think he liked it. He liked it pretty well. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, there was a little bit of hype for this original version of this episode when it was coming up. But can't do it. So scared. Or am I? Then replace it with, what did I have on my list? Sergio Show cereal. I like the drawing. That looks like believable cereal from some cereal company. Of course, missing more information on a cereal box, but it'd be funny if the pencil was a spoon pencil. Yeah, a pencil-shaped spoon or spoon-shaped pencil. And yeah, it only has two kinds of cereals, like something kind of shaped like my head, and S. With that, you can spell Sue. Oh, this one. Yeah, I let this in. Yeah, I actually made a mistake and said water instead of milk for the cereal. And I had to improvise my way out of that. And originally I was going to cut it. But I'm like, look, this episode needs to be 3 to 5 minutes. Let me just keep it in. And as a joke and just work my way into this. Work my way in and out of it. And it worked. It worked. I thought that was some surprise variety of me slipping up and getting myself out of it. Good one. That was probably the best one. Like water, I mean milk. Why water in cereal? But if you want to, go ahead.
Is that cool little puzzle in the back? You know those little kid puzzles or mazes that you can
Oh, yeah. As a kid, you always see puzzles in the back of cereal boxes. But cereal boxes were always made with an ink that makes it difficult to write on pen. So, like, maybe crayon, but yeah, it's always awkward. So you have to dig your pen deep into the thing. Oh, plushie. I think that's a reused image. Yeah, that episode 17? I use that as a prize for the cereal. Oh, what was that? Oh boy.
If it works, cool. Thanks. But if it doesn't work, that's alright. I'll keep trying and hopefully
At least I keep my optimism for this character because the character is optimistic.
Sergio show merchandise.
If we can keep the show going with a view of nothing, with a teeny tiny little baby fan base, by baby fan base I mean by the size of amount of audience, then he'll keep going. I'll keep going. Hopefully. You understand, you guys? You understand? I hope you do.
Thank you very much for watching.
So what's going on? Yep. The end of the episode. Yeah, breeze right through this. Best part of it was me improvising water out of the milk. And me doing that water milk improv. It was good. Good, very good. That's the only thing good. Like, Sergio Show cereal was a joke early on. I think I tried to turn it into a joke when I was working in college, but yeah, a little piece of an episode is okay. Maybe Sergio Show cereal can come back in a reference or something.
Sergio Studio.
Cartoon cereal, you know. This episode, I really liked this episode. It was one of the hardest working episodes I ever made, but it was done quick. Maybe in like 2-3 weeks. Yeah, it felt like 3-week work. And that's a disclaimer because it has kids with weapons, but they're cartoon kids with fake weapons fighting stuff that doesn't exist, and it all takes place in a fantasy, so it doesn't really is not real. It's just disclaimer. And it's never been real. Never been real. Fake. Just letting you guys know on that one.
Oh yeah.
So, this episode, this is also a pretty long episode too, originally.
Serge!
My little sister came back and she brought her friends.
I'm good.
So
Listen,
back
I have
then,
my
the show was
friends
growing a
with
fan
me,
base,
and they want to
and there was a
appear in
neighbor
the
of
show.
mine that liked the show and saw the show, that he wanted to be part of it, and he was a friend of my little sister. So I think he actually pitched an episode where him and his friends fight zombies.
Ladies and
At first I
gentlemen,
thought it was,
boys and girls,
I don't know,
here's my
but then I
friend,
brainstormed. I'm like, yeah, you know what, this could work.
May.
And
Hi,
for a
everyone.
while in
We're
and out, I was
Monte.
working on this episode. I had to work on the
And
drawings
Justin.
of my sister's friends,
Hello, Serge.
and they did their voice recordings in a room. I had the script, they were reading it, they were good
There you
sports
have
about it.
My friends.
We were all being professional.
That's great.
It was
Now
no
that
big
you
deal, it was
introduced
no
yourselves,
problem.
You can go leave while I'll go back to my show.
Serge,
I
why
love
is it
my
taken
little
over
sister's
by
performance. Their
zombies?
performances were great.
May, that sounds like a
I remember
crazy
they were looking forward to
tradition.
this
You can't
episode.
just say
And when it
something
came out,
so oh
when it
my
came out, I
God,
was
there's
excited
a
for this
zombie
episode too
invasion.
because it was like a well-detailed episode with a lot of locations,
is
action,
unusual.
comedy.
I better
You know,
make
it was
some phone
this in
calls and
episode
find out
84,
about
so
this.
this season has
The
some two
town's
good,
full of zombies.
elaborate episodes. Oh yeah,
Do you think there's gonna be
the
any
kids had a
school
good
tomorrow?
time
Maybe not.
recording, and they liked the episode too.
I hope the zombies won't attack my mom.
Okay, I
All
called
good
all our
sports, they're
parents
great.
and they're okay. locked in their own homes.
A lot of good
safe
jokes
and
came in this
sound.
episode. I
The
think
town
some
is
of them had to
taken
be
over by
cut,
a
like
zombie
the one
god
just
named
cut
Zombrian,
because I
and
think it was
he's
a pop
going to
culture
start a
reference.
zombie
Anyway, it was invaded
apocalypse.
by zombies, and I thought of zombies from pop culture originally,
The
and it
only
was in
way
the
to stop the
episode.
zombie
But when I
apocalypse
had to
is
re-edit
kill the head
everything, it's
zombie,
like,
which is
pop
Zombrian,
culture,
where he
fan art
rests in
zombies.
this town,
You know what?
and he
No, that has to
lies
be gone. But I
under
don't want to
a
cut the
portal
episode.
where the
So
zombies
this
are
was one of
coming
the
out,
episodes that
and he's
were that
located
the
in
animation
that
was originally
pharmacy
saved in a
over there.
file. So I reopened that, went back, and all the animation was done in a peg, and there was a layer in the peg, if I can explain this as best as possible quickly, of an image. But I took out the image and replaced it with the original drawing of the zombie.
Now that's a horrible idea. You're just a group of kids, and you want to put your
So,
little lives in
yeah, and
danger
that was a lot
do
of work. I had to
something that
go
is
and look through some
completely real that
shots
played out in the
and
history
see
of
if it
media?
worked
Do you
to
know how
redo
angry
this.
your parents will
But it was
be
a
if
lot of
they
fun
know what
animation.
you
This was
did?
also a very well done
furthermore-
episode. Even edited was just fine. A close up of their faces.
We need to keep the plot going.
I remember
so,
when I
okay,
drew their
let's go.
characters, especially
But
like
first,
my sister's
You kids need
friends.
some serious
I showed it
weapons
to
fight
one
some
of their
serious
moms,
zombies.
and she
Fortunately,
liked it.
I got
She
some
liked the
weapons
designs
in
I
a
made.
secret place off camera.
It was
So
hilarious.
let's get prepared and fight these guys to save the town.
Yeah, the episode came out great when it comes to
universe,
comedy and a
society,
little bit of the animation.
Some location, I'm sure.
There's a scene where one of them like shoots a gun. Yeah, the flicker, the edit. Come on.
Okay,
But I love the
I'm ready.
joke where
You
I'm
guys
just not
put
part
your
of this.
elbow and shoulder pads
I'm
that
just
I
in a
gave you?
padding. In a padded thing.
Sure.
And I like that this
Don't worry.
ultimately was a dream and was a
Well, I'm
fantasy.
wearing a full
Oh,
body
the
foam
visual
padded
quality
suit
is
with a
clear
helmet.
here because
Why?
I did go back to this scene
Why?
and I had to
Well,
replace one of the
fighting and killing
weapons
zombies
because it was
is one of the most
it turns out it was never
reviewed and
really
most
a real
played out
gun. It
things
was
in entertainment
I
history.
think a
So I'm just putting on
fake
protection,
rifle, but
and I do
even
have
that was
some
a real
guns
life
just to
image
be
of
safe.
something. So I had to like draw a crude weapon and it had to not really look like a real
Wait,
weapon. It
wait,
had to
wait.
look
Hold on,
corny
kids.
and not
Before we
believable
go,
because it's a
I gotta make
cartoon.
a disclaimer to
I
the
don't
audience members.
want it to be impressionable. I don't want people to get
Kids,
anything the
Don't
wrong
ever
way,
do
and
this
I
at
don't want people
home.
to be over dramatic about it. So
You should
everything
never
had to be
handle
executed
weapons.
intentionally
This is a
poorly
fictional
to
cartoon
not make it look
created for
believable, but you still get the
entertainment purposes
idea
only.
for
We don't
entertainment
condone
reasons.
these actions in real life.
So this
and you
episode
have
was
been warned.
originally done
Anyway,
and
let's go.
redone with a
okay.
fine-tooth comb, but still try to be fun, entertaining, and in some way safe. And it is safe because even whatever comical dangerous thing happened, it was not real as a cartoon. And even within the episode, because spoiler alert, it's a fantasy. It's a pitch of a kid. That was good animation. I love that he was like shooting. You see no bullets, but they fly off. They're like foof. Those zombies, you see, those were the ones in the edited version that I redrew
Okay,
because
I'm
originally there
here.
were
What did I miss?
other people's zombies and stuff.
So I can kill some zombies when I'm flying. Okay, here you go.
Yeah, Marilyn's acting is adorable in this. Everyone's acting is great. Yep, those are all redone. I ran out of ideas for the last
The
zombie.
lair of Zombrian
Yeah.
at the roof of the pharmacy.
Yeah, even then, like they're in a zombie apocalypse, yet they're okay. I try to make sure
there's
that
a ladder
not a
in the
scratch
back.
on them, even if they're cartoons in a cartoon
Get ready.
that never happened in the first place. Zombrian. I like the design of Zombrian. I'm trying to find a way to bring him back because he was a fantasy of a pitch, but you know he's a cartoon. He can find a way to get in.
zombie apocalypse will happen.
That was cut because there was a reference to a movie. But that
20-something-year-old.
Yeah, they're all just fine. In the episode, real life.
Whoa.
Wow, you think
Yeah,
that's
I
cool to
cannot
watch it?
stress enough that everything is okay. Everything was handled just fine back then.
Kids,
Now,
go get Zombrian. I want to save my little sister.
just being
Hold on,
very careful
Madeline. I'm coming. Hold on, Madeline. Come on.
excuse me, I was drinking
No,
some
Madeline, don't worry.
drink. Soda.
Ah, got you. Okay, you're safe.
Yes, I did linger on. I'm trying to figure out what I was drinking, but it really is soda. Diet Cola. Yeah, there's not even gore in this. It's all dry. Which is fine.
You
Yeah,
may
it's all just
defeat
fine.
me, but you still
You
won't
see, I get
stop the
hurt.
zombie
I get hurt,
apocalypse.
and the joke is I get hurt, and I had to suffer for it. But it worked. It worked. The story was well done. It was simple, though. They just had to go here to there and stop the
It
beam.
wasn't me, man.
It was set
I
up.
called the Nazis. Say thank you to them.
It's a good episode. This was like one of the first episodes that had fan involvement. Early on fan involvement.
Serge, are you okay?
No, I just got bit. The zombie toxin virus.
There's some good jokes. I like the one coming.
You gotta
kill me.
Taking over
No,
me.
please.
I wanna
Okay,
turn
we will
into
go.
a zombie, and the zombie apocalypse will continue.
I think I'd bring up more setup to this.
Madeline, you have to kill me before I completely become a zombie.
But I can't.
But
The
you
thing that was an
have
editing
to.
flip.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was going, but I think I cut that out. It was too dramatic.
Yay, the zombie apocalypse is over.
Yeah, that kid only had 2 lines, but he did a good job.
No.
I love my sisters going like, no. Oh, and you see, it never happened at all. It was a pitch of an episode that in the show's universe didn't happen.
Look, Justin, this
Yep.
sounds like a fun idea, but I'm not sure
They
it's
were great. They were
really
good sports.
going to
The
happen.
whole episode was
It
made
sounds
pretty
too
well,
crazy,
pretty good.
even for a Sergio
Remember, I enjoyed
show
making this
episode.
episode. This is also one of
But
my
hey,
favorites
At least you tried. Well, that's all for this episode of
because it
the
did have like
Sergio
fan
Show.
involvement and
I
it was
would like to
carefully
thank
done.
Justin, May, Devontae, and Madeline for being part of this fantasy. Anyway, I'm Sergio Dominguez saying have an animated day.
Yep. Good episode. Thank you very much to the fans who were part of this episode and my little sister. You did a great job. Great classic episode.
Sergio Studios.
It's the
Yeah, season 9 came out in
Sergio
2013.
Show.
Let's
And
see,
here's
what's
your
next?
host, Sergio
Episode 89. Yep. This
Dominguez.
was
Hello and welcome to another episode of
another clip review episode of a well-known animator on the internet. We had a couple good cartoons. I wanted to poke fun of them. I even used the technique of putting myself over the cartoon. There's even one scene where I am replacing a character in one of his cartoons. He knows about it. He saw and he liked it. And I'm really glad he liked it. Yeah, his response was hilarious. Yeah, it was one of those few times. This was when my audience was growing, and when I reviewed somebody's animated internet work, I got a response. I think he was the first. Everyone else, they heard me. Some of them have. I think, yeah. Some of them that reviewed, they've heard of me. They love my work, and I'm very glad. I'm very happy and thankful. Am I one of them? No, I'm actually myself. And that's all I can do. Why is there a hashtag on the screen? Oh, I know why. Because that is the thing in cartoons. Whenever a cartoon gets really hurt, goes through something painful, like a fight or something, they have like a hashtag on their gosh darn face or arm or whatever. It's a cliche. I think it's supposed to just mention a scuffle, a scuff mark, a legit scratch. You know, but not making it too like, ow. But yeah, that's how the episode came about. Another thing in cartoons.
Ultimately, we get hurt so bad, we won't feel better until we cut to the next scene, or the next episode, or not at all, because we could realistically die. But I think that was another episode I mentioned about cartoon death before, I think.
Not really much to talk about. It's one of those episodes.
Cartoon pain
But I'm glad I got to talk about cartoon pain, because where else am I going to talk about it? If I did it in a later season, of course they'll be like, what's going on with you? But later in the series I did, I don't do the talking episodes in the post 100 episode era, because I did have other episodes to talk about, not even talk about, just make creative, but we'll get to that, you know. Yeah, this kind of episode wouldn't happen post 100. Not yet. Maybe I will try to find a way to bring it back somehow. We'll see. We'll all see. After all, the show is, as of this recording, made 150 episodes. So it will maybe. If I need more episodes, I need more episodes. What can I say?
I think I dragged this episode long enough. Anyway, that's all for this episode of The Sergio Show. Thank you very much for watching. I am Sergio Dominguez saying,
Excuse me, I just finished drinking my Diet Cola. And that was the episode. Simple episode. Yeah, the original version of this episode was actually really funny. A lot of good jokes. A lot of good jokes. I was poking fun of the cartoons, but it was never out of hate or, disrespect. It was out of comical love, care. Yeah. It was just, I was adding more to the reality of the cartoon he made, which is something I did when I was a kid. Whenever I'm done watching an animated film, I wanted more, and I would let my imagination run wild on that.
Sergio Studios.
Alright, the season finale, 90. And let's see, originally, oh my god, you're not gonna believe what kind of episode I did for this originally, and it was Song Parodies. No. Yes, of course. Song parodies. Oh my gosh. Yeah, when you have episodes set up as a system and you try to figure out how do you end a season, just end the season how you did it, but try to do it differently enough where it's not that repetitive and you have something new to put on the table of a pre-existing idea to the audience. Because I remember when I originally uploaded the first episode that had song parodies, which was episode 20, if I can recall, people did like it. Yeah, people were divided on my singing, which, of course, my singing is never the best. That was mistake number one. Can I sing? No, I cannot sing. Why should I even sing? I gotta stop talking while I sing right now. Whoa. But this is me trying to be generally entertaining right now in an audio commentary that's almost done. But replace that song parody with me doing a daily ritual for the show, which I don't. I just wake up. Well, I kind of do something like that, but in the character's universe, of course, he needs, shirt and pants, and to get his head together. And it's always 3 p.m. in that show's universe. Either that or, look at me eat a cheeseburger. Everybody loves when I eat a cheeseburger because it's a cheeseburger, and we all love cheeseburgers. Especially the people who love cheeseburgers. I think I found a way to just keep that in. I don't know. Hold on. Oh yeah, these were like in between breaks from the song parodies, so I introduced them. This was edited in. Yep, this was edited in, the word scripts. Look at me trying to read scripts when it's not that. Yeah. A lot of recycling in the show. Believe it or not, there's a lot of recycling. Look how I cut off save energy recycles when reusing the footage. Why is this blurry? Hold on.
Sit down, take a deep, deep breath, and then the episode begins. And that's how I do my daily ritual of the Sergio Show.
I wonder what that blur was about. I'm trying to remember. Was it because I was out of focus mentally, and then when I start the show, I'm just focused? Which is weird, because attention span.
That's all for the Season 9 finale episode of The Sergio Show. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Sergio Dominguez saying, have an animated day.
Yep. There you have it. Season 9. Good episodes. The good episodes are really good. Well, the weak episodes are just weak, forgettable. A lot of them too compromised to be entertaining. And even the compromised good episodes have their fun. So, yeah, very good season on the good episodes part, of course. So, solid episodes, some weak, but had to be. But thank you for watching. I'm Sergio Dominguez saying have an animated day.
Sergio Studios.